All right, today I'm going to show you how to use maca powder. I'm going to be making maca powder into a drink, and I'm going to show you the step-by-step process on how to do this, what other things you can add to it. I'm going to be mixing with water, possibly oil, and kefir. And I'll explain to you why I may mix it with oil or kefir. Now, this is maca powder. In fact, it's organic maca powder made by a company called Mother Nature. And this is black maca powder, just a variant of maca powder, and it's organic. And if you look on the back, it shows that it's certified organic, and it also gives instructions. Now, these instructions are for making shakes and smoothies. Now, I'm not going to do either one of those. I'm going to be making it a simple way with water, perhaps oil, and kefir. And it will give you a understanding of how it mixes, a different way of how to take maca root powder, and just basic knowledge type of video so you can understand maca root powder a little bit better. Now, this is maca root powder, and on the back it says, add 1 serving of maca powder to your smoothie or your favorite recipe. So people have been known to put this in baked goods, or when they're cooking, they add maca powder. However, I'm going to be making a drink out of it. And 1 serving is equivalent to 1 teaspoon or 5 grams. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. Now, I have 2 glasses. One of the glasses I'm going to have with water, and the other one I'm going to be mixing with kefir. Now, the reason why I'm going to be mixing it with kefir or oil, if I had oil, but it just so happens that I'm out of oil, so I won't be using oil, is so that some of the components of maca powder can become more bioavailable. Some components of maca powder can be dissolved with water, and others it needs some sort of fat. And that's where the kefir comes in, because if you look on the back, it has fat, total fat right here. I'm going to be using that. Now first, I'm going to be mixing with water so you can see how to do this. Now what I typically do when I'm doing with water, I'll fill a glass a little bit with water at first. And the reason why I do that is because maca powder, it may stick on the bottom. Now, 1 serving is 1 teaspoon, but I choose to do a little bit more. And we're going to put this into the water. Now, I want you to recognize what happens when the maca powder is inside of the water. All right, so I'm going to put maybe a little bit more than what I said I was going to do. And see, I'm mixing it inside of the water, and we'll let this sit while I start to mix it with kefir. So I put the maca powder in there, and now I'm going to mix some with kefir. So this is kefir. This is Alexander Family Farm kefir, grass-fed, regenerative, organic, probiotic kefir. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this inside, just a little bit. And I'm not going to pour a full glass because I don't want this to be huge heaping of kefir. And then I'm going to put some of a little bit more than a serving, maybe a little bit more than 2 servings in there. And I put some in here. Now watch what happens. I'm going to mix this up. And with maca, it's important to note that it actually is a thickener. So when you put it into a substance, smoothie, drink, or whatever, have some caution because it will thicken. And the longer that you let it set, the thicker that it becomes. Now let's check on the water with the maca. It has thickened up somewhat, but because water is water and water flows like water, it hasn't thickened up as much as the kefir. So, keeping that in mind, if you do add it to something such as yogurt, you'll probably want to add a little bit of water to it or something, or perhaps use a little bit more kefir so that you give the beverage that you made a little bit of leeway when it comes to thickening, because you don't want it too thick because you won't be able to drink it. Okay? So I added that to it. Added to the water. You can see the water's thin enough to drink. It can become a choking hazard if it becomes thick. So when you're making it, make sure you go with the instructions so you don't have it too thick. Now they said with a smoothie, I did it with this, and it is relatively thick. You probably need to thin it out before drinking it because it can be a choking hazard. So this is thin enough for me. And so I'm just going to go ahead and drink this like it is. And it doesn't taste too bad. Although it has a slight sweet taste to it, I wouldn't call it a sweet drink. Perhaps mixing it in with your favorite smoothie would be better. And I'm going to try this. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but I'm going to go ahead and try this. With the kefir, it's definitely still too thick. So I'm going to water it down, literally. Go ahead and mix this up right here. With the kefir, it's actually a little bit more pleasant. And with the kefir, also, like I said, it has fat in there, which helps dissolve some of the parts of the maca. So I choose to use fat base. Now, if you want to use just water and you don't want to use kefir, you could probably add a little bit of olive oil to the cup, mix it with a spoon and maca, and then add it to water or add it to your favorite smoothie drink. I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here. Mix this up a little bit more. Let's try this one out. It's a healthy drink, feels like. Now, if you notice, with the maca, it is thick and it actually sticks to the sides in here. So keep that in note before you try any supplement like this that thickens up, because you don't want to leave half of it at the bottom of your glass. Right? So I'm going to thin it up just a little bit more, with a little bit, water it down. Go like this. Finish the maca. Now that's how you use maca. This is black maca powder. Consult your physician before trying any supplement to see if it's okay for you. Black maca powder. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.